What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so in this video here, we're going to be taking a look at Professor X in World Boss Legend. And yes, I have done a couple of videos already on Professor X. We've done a video of him versus Knull without his uniform and with his uniform, so I have done that. But last time I did a video on Professor X, someone actually told me that his damage is actually a lot better on his third skill than just doing his normal rotation that I would have been doing with his previous look without the uniform, because I just kind of carried over that same skill rotation to this uniform here. And again, the damage looked good, and it was very similar, because I think I did a comparison video with and without the uniform, and his damage was very, very close to being about the same, with just maybe a bar to half a bar difference in terms of the damage each proc. But the third skill apparently kind of blows out of the water and actually does make a difference from his base look and the uniform look here in terms of damage. So that's what we're going to be trying out today. I haven't really practiced much with it, and I will say it's definitely a lot harder of a skill rotation to actually proc on, because I do have a CTP of energy here. So yeah, we'll see what happens here and see if we get more damage, see how well he performs, and yeah, let's check out the build. So we have a few Odin's Blessings on him. We've got some energy attacks, some crit rate there for the Urus. We've got all of his skills fully leveled up here. We've got a fully awakened Power of Angry Hulk. No artifact. You already saw the CTP of energy, and I haven't been able to get any bios for him to upgrade his uniform just because I don't play Dangerum very much. So yeah, that's kind of my bad there. So he's just a normal uniform. Take a look at the details. We are lacking on a few stats here, mainly just our crit rate and crit damage. But we have our ignore defense and our skill cooldown maxed out, which is the important part. And we basically maxed also on the attack speed there. Does he have a crit rate buff? I don't think he does. That was the accumulation. No. That's just attack and speed. So we are technically maxed out on our attack speed then, because we get 1% right there, and we're missing like 0.7%. So yeah, there we go. No, so he doesn't get any crit rates. So yeah, that's what he's looking like. So yeah, let's just try him out here, see if we can get better results by using the third skill as our proccing skill opposed to the fifth skill. And yeah, let's move on to Knull and see what happens. Alright, so here we are at Knull. We're going to be using this team here. We've got Star-Lord for his leadership because it applies to blast type, so it's perfect for Professor X here. And then we have Valkyrie for her tier 2 passive. She also gives a little bit more ignore dodge, and we have a CTP of insight on her. So we got everything going there in terms of our damage and support. We don't need any ignore dodge strikers because we have a CTP of energy on top of Valkyrie's support, so we should be fine there. So I'm not going to worry about bringing any ignore dodge strikers. But now comes the hard part, which is me actually doing this rotation correctly. Yeah, I can almost never proc this, or proc correctly for this one. It's just so difficult to do. Okay, there we go. We actually got it that time. And then we got stunned from the tentacle, which is also a downside to doing this because we don't have any stun immunity, and we are not in an iframe, so I don't really like this this rotation. I definitely prefer his other rotation. It's just so much easier, it's so much safer to do in terms of actually getting the skill off, because look, there we got stunned again, so we still didn't get the damage, so we still haven't seen the damage. I don't know, I really don't like this one, even though it is supposed to be more damage. Alright, let's see what we got here. Yeah, see, that damage is pretty good. But then if we compare it to the other one, which is going to be the normal rotation, that's pretty close actually. Alright. I don't know. I just don't like this rotation. It makes it feel very difficult to use him. Don't run out there. All right. Can you stop doing stuff? I've pushed you to your next phase. All right. So So we're just going to do that. Get some damage here with our awake or tier 3. We're going to push him. Not quite. Alright. Alright, so I mean, we're doing good, but he has good damage even with the other rotation that I use, so didn't really expect him to actually like fail or anything here. Alright, so this one should be good, right? Yeah, there we go. So yes, you can see the damage is nice when we actually get it to work. No, stop. Alright, so we're just going to do this just so we can push him to the dragon phase. Alright, there we go. Dragon phase has been achieved. Do we have enough time? Oh, just barely enough time to get the damage from the third skill there. Whoo, that was close. That almost pushed him over, too. Again, not my favorite rotation for Professor X. I definitely prefer to do 3-4-5 instead of 5-4-3. But again, this is supposed to be the rotation with more damage. You can let me know in the comments below if I'm actually wrong on that. Maybe I was just misled by a few people that I was reading that about, or reading their comments about. Oh no, I need to get into the, there we go, into the awakening skill. We'll do this, we'll do that, and damage. That's some damage. Yeah, because we have invincibility on his tier 3, so I keep calling it awakening skill. Invincibility on his tier 3, so we can just kind of stand there and not worry about Knull breaking us out of our rotation there. Minute and 45 seconds left. Again, I know Professor X has good damage, so I wasn't really expecting him to struggle in terms of taking down Knull. I was just hoping to see an increase in the damage compared to his other rotation, which, since I messed it up so much, this is very similar to what I would have done just with the normal rotation that I like to use, that I feel is a lot easier if you're using a regular damage proc. So I definitely feel like this rotation, where you're trying to actually let the third skill play out, is more suited to a activation CTP on Professor X here, whether it be Judgment or Rage. I definitely think that's the way to go if you have one of those two in terms of your skill rotation. But if you have a CTP of Energy like I do, a Destruction, just a regular Obelisk with a damage proc, I definitely think it's a lot easier to consistently proc if you just do the 3-4-5 instead and just proc on 5, opposed to trying to do the other way around and proc on 3. But again, that's just my opinion here, and could be up to your play style if you find it easier to cancel one way or another, or if you're a little bit quicker on doing the skills or something, or you're just better at the timing with the skills, then do whichever one you like more. But yeah, that's just my thoughts here on Professor X. So now let's go ahead and give him kind of a rating here. So his survivability is good. I mean, he's got that nice healing. He's got iframes. So not much issue there. I'll give him a 7 for survivability, because it's still not great if you're using this particular skill rotation, because the third skill is one where he is vulnerable. So that would be a 7, and I'd probably bump that up to an 8 if you use the other skill rotation, because that one you're proccing on an iframe, which can make a difference. Or is it an iframe or just have invincibility? Either way, it's definitely a lot safer. And then if we go to the ease of play, so this is where, again, you kind of already know my opinion on that with this rotation with a proc. So if you have a proc, I think he's probably about a 5 on ease of play, because it is kind of difficult to proc if you're going to do the third skill. If you're going to do the other way around and proc on the 5th skill, then I think he's probably a 7, because there's still issues that you can run into. It's just a lot more consistent if you do it that way. But we're doing the video, and the rating that you're going to see on the screen is just based off of the third skill rotation, so that would be the 5. And then if we move on to damage, again, I didn't have any issue with his damage. If I could actually proc consistently on the third skill, it definitely looks like it would be better. So maybe a 7 on damage. It still was less than I thought it was going to be, so yeah, I'll give him a 7 there. So yeah, let's move over to Mephisto, see if we get the same kind of vibes, or if he performs better over there or not. So yeah, let's move over there and see what happens. Alright, so here we are over at Mephisto. We have the same team here. And then we're going to be using the kind of normal set of strikers I use against Mephisto. We definitely need the movement speed for Professor X here. I would also like to have some debuff removal, but we have Star-Lord here instead, because, yeah, Professor X, he's not going to be protected while doing this third skill. So that could be bad for us. We can get guard broken, we can get burned, or we can just get the skill to go off and he won't do anything, so that's nice. I probably should have just gone into my tier 3 right there since my damage proc took so long to activate. But we can do this and then go into the tier 3 and damage proc? Hello? I mean, my damage proc is just not wanting to activate here, so we weren't able to push him over before the first rage outburst. I blame my damage proc on that one. It just refused to go off, like, at all. Okay, this time it actually went off in a timely manner. Is that enough to put... Yeah, of course it's enough to push him over. Damage proc. How dare you. We could have pushed him over so much quicker, or we could have pushed him over before the first outburst. That's basically what would have happened. Of course. Nice spear, Proxima. You sniped me out of there. I'm gonna get frozen, but hopefully get that skill off first. Ouch. Alright, we need the healing, so I'm gonna have to let this skill play out. Run away! Is he doing a flame vortex? He is. Oh my gosh, how long does that flame vortex sit there for? Professor, you need to get out of there. Oh, at least he's hovering around pretty quickly here. Come on, put that chair to the test. Full throttle. Is he still gonna get a ray? No, he's not. Okay. We want to do this, and we missed the damage proc. Fantastic. It went off early that time. You know, I wouldn't have guessed it based off of the first part of the fight where our damage proc was just refusing to go off like at all. Ooh, nice. We still got the damage there. I can't see what's going on. Are you gonna vortex me? You're not gonna vortex me. I'm gonna go in for some damage. Yeah, what do you think about that? Where are you? There you are. Alright, so we do have ourselves a little bit of the old tier 3. So this should definitely push him over, right? Come on. There we go. Alright, so far so good. What is Vortex doing here? Get out of here. Where did that Vortex come from? He was phase changing. You're not allowed to, oh my gosh, to summon a Vortex while you're freaking doing your transformation animation. I'm calling some cheating shenanigans from that. Oh, where are you doing that? Right there. Well, then I'm going to shoot you in the back. Well, yeah. I think not. Get out of here with your hands. Uh-oh. Ah, what is he doing? Oh my gosh. The spear. The spear, it sniped me. These spears are more deadly than freaking Mephisto in his own attacks. Alright, so we need to pop this tier 3 and get some serious damage with this. Go! Melt bars. Melt! I mean, kind of. Ooh, can we get another attack in here real quick? Before he rages? Oh, yes, we can. That was nice. That was some good damage right there. That was some good damage. Alright. Come on. Obelisk or CTP. I need you to proc a little bit more consistently for me. You're costing me a lot of time and damage here. Alright. We'll blast them with the tier 3 as soon as we time freeze them here. And whoop, there we go. So now we want to do this, this, and this. And that should take him out, right? Come on. Go, keep going. Oh, not quite. Third skill, go, hit him. Ah, the third skill took too long. I think we got guard broken is what it was. Should be able to, there we go. I was gonna say we should be able to take him out. Wow, that was cutting it closer than I thought it was going to be, so only 33 seconds left. We definitely got guard broken a lot there, but that's kind of the downside of using the third skill as your proc. The damage again is good, but yeah, I don't know. I don't prefer this playstyle. I like the other rotation a lot better because I like to be nice and safe in my iframe there, even if it does less damage. Yeah, but even though we weren't in an iframe, we were getting guard broken a lot. I didn't really notice that we're in too much danger of dying. I mean, we took some hits there and here and there. I think we only really got low like once. So his healing was definitely enough to sustain us. He had enough movement speed to dodge a lot of this stuff. And surprisingly, even though the third skill seems like it was taking a long time for the animation to play out, I actually had time to use the third skill and then get out of there before Mephisto was doing his most devastating attacks. And that kind of surprised me the most. I thought I was going to be rooted in place and just keep getting wrecked by attack after attack because I couldn't, you know, move quick enough to get out of there because you need to wait for that damage from the third skill. And I thought that was going to be the downfall. But hey, he surprised me. He did great. So let's move on to the score here. So survivability, again, I explained, it seemed like he was not having any issues surviving. So we'll give him a 7 there just because, yeah, just because it could be, of course, better. If I was using the other rotation with the iframe, I'd probably be a bit safer. I have more movement because you can move while using the 5th skill. So yeah, 7 with this rotation. For ease of play, I mean, it was working fine now that I decided to just do the 5th skill into the 3rd skill instead of trying to do 4, 5, 3. Because that kind of cancellation didn't seem to want to compute. It seemed like there was a bit of delay or lag or something like that. Like after you do 4, 5, and you try to hit the 3rd skill, it's like it wasn't registering right away. It's almost like it had to wait a second and then you can use the 3rd skill. And that would be the downfall because I would proc too early. So 4, 3, or I mean 5, 3 was working great. So with that, ease of play, I'd say an 8 for ease of play as in doing what I'm intending to do. If it's the right way to play him, I do not know. But for ease of play, for the way I was trying to play him, I'd give him an 8. And then we can move on to the damage. So the damage was actually less than I thought it was going to be because we only had 33 seconds left. I thought he was going to clear it a lot quicker than that, if I'm being honest. So I'll probably give him a 7 in damage because he was still able to clear it. We still had time left. My damage proc, I know, wasn't cooperating with me for probably like half, well, a little less than half of the procs, so there is that was kind of contributing to the lack of damage, so we'll give him a 7 there. So yeah, that's going to be Professor X here in World Boss Legend. Let me know your thoughts below. What rotation do you like to use with him? Do you try to proc on the 3rd skill? Do you proc on the 5th skill? Do you even use Professor X anymore, or do you just stick with you know, another character? Or if you do use Professor X, do you actually use him with a Rage, Judgment, or a CTP of Energy? If you use a CTP at all, kind of curious to know about that. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. But that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.